you just joined us on the System After Dark, this is a homegrown number courtesy of E3 and Cracker. Bulla, how's it going? I'm D, your host on the System After Dark, right here on Today FM. Today's hit music. You can catch me weeknights at 7 p.m. That's from Monday to Friday, only on the home of Today's hit music. And don't forget, that's D with you every weeknight on the System After Dark. Even got that homebrew flowing.
In this bulletin, 9 days remain until new Fiji flag competition closes. Prime Minister Bainimarama calls Samoan PM a lapdog of Australia and New Zealand. And the buck stops with drivers when it comes to road fatalities, says police. The new national flag design competition will end in 9 days' time, and Prime Minister Bainimarama has urged all Fijians to send in their designs. Eleanor Tarangaivu with this report.
Prime Minister Bainimarama used his public engagement at Ratunavula School in Nadi today to remind all Fijians about the approaching deadline for the competition. All flag designs have to be sent in by May 1st, only 9 days away.
As I've said before, you don't need anything more than a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil. And you never know. Your idea might be just the one that resonates with everyone or contributes to the final designs. So get your entries in and be part of this historic occasion.
The Prime Minister then took the time to view a passing out cadet parade by 480 students.
Your turnout, your drill and your bearing are of the highest standard, and you can be proud of yourselves and your performance. You make a very impressive sight. Congratulations to you all. I'm inspired when I attend events like this because I know that the future of our beloved Fiji will be in good hands when my own generation passes into history and our young people assume responsibility for our nation's destiny.
Bainimarama says the school has churned out many proud Fijians in its 41 years of existence.
While some of you may end up as soldiers or sailors, others will go into agriculture, to commerce, the professions, or take advantage of the opportunities my government is providing to learn a trade and improve the skills base of our nation. But whatever you choose to do, the lessons of discipline, patriotism, duty, honor, integrity, honesty, and service that you have learned as cadets will stay with you all your lives.
The Prime Minister urged the students to take lessons learned from the cadet training and apply them in their lives, as well as set good examples for others. Eleanor Tarangaivu, FBC News.
Prime Minister Bainimarama has called his Samoan counterpart a lapdog of Australia and New Zealand. Bainimarama was responding to an unprovoked and deliberately insulting attack on him by Tuilaipa Sailele Malialangaoi. Tuilaipa had criticized Bainimarama for declining to go to the Pacific Islands Forum Leaders Summit until the issue of the Australian and New Zealand membership is addressed. Tuilaipa told the Samoa Observer Bainimarama's issue is insignificant and to remember all the man did was to play the drums and train. In response, Bainimarama told the Fiji Sun, "We've heard this yapping from the Samoan lapdog before. He says it means nothing and all he can do is bark and dance to tunes until they feed him again." Bainimarama says for the past 6 to 7 years, no one cared much about Fiji joining PIF, and now everyone is jumping up and down for nothing. He is adamant that Fiji will stay out of the forum as long as Australia and New Zealand remain as members. The buck stops with drivers and road users. That's the response of the police following the recent spate of road fatalities. Their message, hasn't changed, but responsible and always follow the rules. Ali Kimbia has more.
The answer to preventing the loss of lives on our roads is safe driving and sticking to the speed limits.
Yes, when we look at the number of road accidents and fatalities, it is a major concern because When you look deeper into it, of the 18 road fatalities that have been recorded for this year, 9 of them was as a result of speeding.
Over the weekend, 3 people died in road accidents. During Easter weekend, 5 people lost their lives on the roads. The Fiji police force is concerned about how people are ignoring the law. FBC News reached out to residents in accident-prone areas. Some of them have witnessed horrific scenes where people have lost their lives.
That's the driver's attitude. What we see, like normally we are the taxi drivers, and every day we see the attitude of the drivers, the way they behave on the road. Even we come across sometimes some drivers, especially the young ones. Their attitude is really, different from what we've been taught. Like we go through the deficit driving course and all.
With law enforcement agencies putting an effort to create more awareness, the onus is now on the public to be more responsible. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
The case of former Vice-Chancellor of the Fiji National University, Dr. Ganesh Chand, has now been moved to the High Court. Chand, who appeared in the Suva Magistrates Court this morning, is charged with 1 count of abuse of office, which was laid by the Fiji Independent Commission Against Corruption. It is alleged that Chand, while being employed in the public service, abused the authority of his office. It's also alleged Chand approved the payments for overseas medical treatment for the then Minister of Education and the chairman of the FNU Council, Philippe Mbole, without the council's approval. Chand is expected to appear in the Suva High Court on May 15th. 4 people have been shortlisted for the post of Chief Executive Officer of the National Fire Authority. Permanent Secretary for Infrastructure and Transport Francis Keane says the NFA board, along with chartered accountants, conducted the interviews on all applications. Keane says the names have been forwarded to the Minister for Local Government Praveen Bala for his endorsement. The contract for former CEO John O'Connor expired at the end of March. 205 soldiers are currently undergoing redeployment training at Nausori Highlands. The soldiers will soon be sent on missions overseas. Akusita Tale reports.
The rugged terrains of Nausori Highlands have been converted into a training ground for the soldiers. They have been carrying out live firing exercises as part of their preparation for deployment to Sinai.
The Nausori Highlands has the biggest range so far that still being allowed by the army have to be used. The range that we have down in Suva is small. The range here at Nausori Highland is very realistic and also helps with our training.
These exercises will ensure the soldiers pick up the necessary skills to handle any situation they encounter while on the field overseas.
The army is a professional army. We do not want to deploy our soldiers underskilled. So the main aim of this training is when we deploy soldiers, we are at our best, at the 100%. Of the, like I said before, the DLOC, the deployment level of operation capability.
Major Talemai Natuiri is amongst those preparing for deployment. He will be leading a team for the very first time.
Especially going in as a commanding officer for 12 months. I have troops with me and they rely on me for both as their leader and in the mission area, especially in the mission area. And now that Sinai is very volatile, the situation has changed a lot for the last 3 years. The challenge for me is to bring them back home alive after 12 months.
The troops are expected to leave the country soon. Akusita Tale, FBC News.
Still to come on FBC News, development tops discussions at 2-day Thai-level provincial council meeting.
FM number 2 na sir na ngona nin remanda kay Central Rental Support ka na kusuno ko terminichi me va na koloko. Ni sabula.
Oya wa ti soni dalai.
Gonga e mo zon.
Nama kikirau bena tolu kina bitu. Ena via kabi, moliti kina porombuka.
Goria na lali ne kami. Bula FM number 2 na sir.
My name is Luca. I live on the 2nd floor.
Gold FM, only the classic hits. I hope you're having fun so far. You're listening to The Ride, and I'm Kara, taking you through your afternoon. Stay with me to listen to more awesome classics right here on The Ride. Bulubinaka for awesome sounds in the afternoon. Wonderful, wonderful classics. Join me on the ride every weekday right here on Gold FM, only the classic hits from 2 to 7.
Just don't ask me what it was. I think it's 'cause
Two shipping companies have been approved for services in the Maritime Islands. Ganesh Shipping and Sea Rakino are the two companies that will cater for Vanuatu, Vivia and other small islands in the Lau Group. Shireen Lata has the story.
Permanent Secretary for Transport Francis Keane says the two shipping companies were to start services early this month. Keane says it's the first time for the Sea Rakino to be awarded a franchise subsidy.
The information that we've gathered, they have difficulty sometimes in going to some of these small islands. Hence the need just to give a bit of balance to some of these small islands by putting in the Sea Rakino.
Unfortunately, at the moment, Lomaiviti Princess 2 is going through a major repair. We're replacing one of the engines that we had a failure in it. We had a broken crankshaft in it. And we've got the engines locally. It's installed. We're just doing final preparation on the installation of the piping work. And we've got CMAC working on the modification of the bed plate. And we are hoping, if all goes well, to commence our sailing end of this month.
Government has also reduced its franchise scheme services from 10 to 9 by merging trips to Lomaiviti and Northern Lau. 5 of these routes are classified as semi-economical and will be serviced fortnightly as opposed to the previous monthly services.
Franchise scheme, we have an observer on board from the ministry. He actually does a lot of monitoring, data compilation, very important data for the ministry, very important data for government. Monitoring the amount of cargo that actually goes to and fro from our ports, and also the number of passengers. That was used as a determination.
Keane is eager to show that the government is committed to improving its maritime services and ensuring all its franchise schemes are well covered. Shireen Lata, FBC News.
The Ministry of Rural Development will work with other ministries and farmers to revive rice farming in the Tailevu province. That is one of the issues that will be discussed at the 2-day Provincial Council meeting in Nausori. Watisoni Rakandroka reports.
Delegates converged at the provincial office for their first meeting for the year. Discussions will focus on development programs that have been earmarked to benefit more than 50,000 residents in the province. Commissioner Central Meletim Bainimarama says the Rural Development Ministry has allocated about $130,000 for development programs in Tailevu.
That budget is for the programs, the one that I've outlined earlier, the ones for self-help, non-cane access, rural housing assistance.
The Korean-owned Grace Food Express Company, which is based in Serua, has expressed interest in developing rice farming.
We hope to get them land in the north of Tailevu, with leases expiring, to run this program of rice replanting, rice revitalization.
Talks are also underway with potential investors to grow the dairy and beef farming in Tailevu. Bainimarama says in order for the projects to get off the ground, the people of Tailevu needs to be informed. He's hopeful that word will spread from beyond the meeting room to the villages and communities so that everyone will help in their development and live better lives. Watisoni Rekanroka, FBC News.
The Commissioner of Police, Ben Hunaval, says community policing needs to be strengthened. In a statement issued this afternoon, the Police Commissioner says recent reports of individuals who have raised their concerns regarding their safety directly to the media are worrisome. Hunaval says while he admits that police need to work harder in the enforcement of law and order, they can't address issues if people choose to speak to the media instead of the police. He says members of the public are reminded to contact police with their issues, and if these are not being dealt with, then to communicate directly with his office. The Commissioner adds that from next week he will embark on divisional visitation starting in the north with a specific Talanoa session which will be open to the public to air their issues. 2 families have today laid to rest their loved ones who died in separate road accidents on Sunday last week. The 2 men were victims of the road accidents. Ellen Stalls has the story.
2 young men starting off their working life after completing studies at the Fiji National University. Their lives were cut short hours apart on Sunday in 2 separate road accidents in Suva. Tragically, the two young men were friends, according to Suresh Kumar, the father of one of the victims.
I just come to know yesterday that they both applied for the same job at Vision Motors. He got it and he never got it.
Your son?
No, the other guy. Yeah. And they were friends at FNU there. Yeah.
25-year-old Kritesh Kumar of Nasinu was the younger of two sons.
2 nights I haven't slept. That's why I'm taking one of my niece driving around.
He had a promising career ahead of him, and he was going to graduate on Friday and was planning to get married in a few months. A father who is still coming to terms with the loss of his young son says other motorists should take a long, hard look at what the consequences could be.
Life is one. You have to think. Once gone is finished. That's all. So drive carefully.
The second victim was 21-year-old Shelvin Vikrant of Samambula. His death is a double blow for the family, as they lost their home in a fire in August last year. The family had only started rebuilding their house and their lives when they lost their sole breadwinner on Sunday night. Vikrant's family members were too distraught to speak on camera. His younger brother says Shelvin was driving a company vehicle at the time of the accident. He described his older brother as a happy person and one that had many friends. The funerals of both Kritesh and Shelvin were held today. Ellen Stolz, FBC News.
We turn to sports now. Here's Jamie with the latest.
Good evening. Coming up in sports, Fiji netball and Digicel Punjas International Series unbeaten, and Banuve Tambakaudoro gives FBC Sports his pick for the fastest male athlete at this year's Coca-Cola Games. Find out more after the break.
Gold FM, only the classic hits. Beautiful song from the group Firehouse and When I Look Into Your Eyes. Before that, you heard from Smokey Robinson with One Heartbeat. We'll take a short break and join us in the next hour for more music from Seal. Bulablaga. I'm DJ Tora. Join me every weekdays, 7 until midnight on the Premium Classics. Right here on Gold FM, only the classic hits.
छू 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 हे हे नमस्ते फीजी, आपके हर एक प्रॉब्लम की दवा लेकर मैं आ गई हूँ 9 से 12 बजे तक आपकी सहेली रेनू। छू 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 40 में 20 का दिखना है। मैं हूँ ना आपके साथ में मिर्ची एफएम पर 9 से 12 बजे तक मंडे टू फ्राइडे। मिर्ची इट्स हॉट।
The Fiji netball side will need to improve its fitness levels in their preparation for the Pacific Games. That was the verdict from national coach Kate Carpenter at the close of the Digicel Punjas International Series last night, where the side finished unbeaten. Charlene Daudakadaka reports.
Fiji topped off a successful campaign in the Digicel Punjas International Series at the Vodafone Arena in Suva last night. First, the Digicel Fiji side, led by Merena Iliko, Maria Lutua, and Una Rauluni defeated Papua New Guinea 68-37. Next, the Punjas Fiji side featuring Matila Wanganindrola, Tarema Mitchell and Alessi Wanga took to the court and overcame a determined Singapore outfit, winning 61-47.
I mean, it was a hard-fought win. Singapore played very well, and there weren't a lot of errors from their game, so their accuracy across shooting was very good as well. So, yeah, really close contest, and a good test for us.
This is the second series this year where international teams have come to test our national side. With 73 days remaining until the Pacific Games, there is still one area that needs to be addressed as Fiji hunts for the elusive gold medal.
We go into a conditioning block, so with our conditioner, so 2 sessions a day, and so really we need to make some improvements on our match fitness ahead of our trials, which are on the 9th of May, and then we'll be deciding on a 15 or 16 that will go through to the Pacific Games and the World Cup.
The next couple of weeks will be important for the Fiji netball squad as they build up to the Port Moresby Games in July. Thailand Odakadak, FBC Sports.
The Vodafone Bar football side bowed out of the Fiji Airways OFC Champions League with a 2-0 loss to Team Wellington in the semi-finals last night. Bar was 2 goals down within the first 16 minutes, and the New Zealand-based side held on to qualify for the final in only their maiden tournament.
From the head clash as the ball comes in, and it's gone in, and is it Guaida? The ball's whipped in, and it's 2, and it's Guaida again.
I guess the 2 goals that was considered in the first half decided this game for us. But otherwise, my boys, they played really well, especially in the second half. I guess we were just very unlucky in the second half. We tried a lot, but credit to the defense of the Wellington side. I guess they were wonderful at the back.
Team Wellington will play defending champions Auckland City in the final at 7 p.m. this Sunday at the NZ Stadium in Suva. Swami Vivekananda College of Nandi is hoping to grab at least 3 gold medals at the Coca-Cola Games in Suva on Friday. The athletes have rounded off 1.5 months of training and are preparing to leave for Suva tomorrow. Josephine Navula has more.
Under the watchful eyes of their coach and teachers, the SBC athletes went through the final run today.
We have sessions in the morning from 8 in the morning till 9:30, and straight after that then they get to class and they have another afternoon session training. And I would say that the training have been going well. We haven't had any hiccups, just jitters from having fevers and all, but we have overcome that with the training program.
The athletes have the support of the school's management. There was also a media band to allow the students to prepare well. Now it's time for them to deliver.
We have been telling the team that, it's sending a 22-member squad from a very large school like this. We need to get something back to just an icing on the cake, and also having the parent support with us and the ex-students and even the board of governors and the administrators, even the school as a whole, especially to the teachers who have been helping us out as well. Yes, surely I can say that we will be coming back with medals.
Swami Vivekananda College athletics team will leave for Suva tomorrow morning. The Coca-Cola Games gets underway at ANZ Stadium on Friday with the final schedule for Saturday. Josephine Navula, FBC Sports.
Pacific Sprint King Banuve Tambakaudoro is tipping Gospel High School's Aaron Powell to claim the Blue Ribbon 100-meter event at the Coca-Cola Games this week. Tambakaudoro won the event in 2011 for Maris Brothers High School, running a record time of 10.43 seconds. That record still stands today. The 22-year-old says Powell, who is in the national squad preparing for the Pacific Games, will be a very hard man to beat.
For all the athletes that will be competing in the Blue Ribbon event this year, it'll be very tough for them too. We have one athlete in particular, Aaron Powell, who's been competing in the Blue Ribbon for the past couple, not the Blue Ribbon, sorry, that has a lot of experience in the 100 meters. So he's a national athlete as well. So, he'll be the main person to watch during the 2 days.
Other top bets for the boys 100-meter event are Ratu Kandabulevu School's Penitsamini Narumbe and Ba Provincial Freebird Institute's Josevata Lalawa. And that wraps up sports for tonight. Good evening.
Tourism Fiji has led a group of representatives from the country's top resorts and hotels on a 3-week tour to several U.S. cities to meet travel agents. The main aim of this tour is to attract more visitors to the country. Muscat Cove Resort Sales and Marketing Manager Alex Raidembe says most of the American guests they get are 40 years and above age. He says the visitors have been around the world and they are especially motivated now because of the strength of the U.S. dollar, which is twice as strong as the Fijian dollar. Fiji welcomed about 61,000 visitors from North America last year. Generally fine weather conditions apart from brief showers prevailed over the country today. A trough of low pressure lies slow-moving over Wallace and Futuna and extends southeastwards over northern Tonga and Niue. Meanwhile, another trough of low pressure affects northern and southern Cooks. The capital city and the hidden paradise, Savu Savu, were the coolest places today, recording 28 degrees on the temperature chart. It was quite humid in Lambasa with 33 degrees. Tomorrow, keep your umbrella handy. There will be brief showers in the afternoon across all centres. There should be fine weather in the morning, though. And further outlook, fine apart from brief showers over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands, cool at night. And recapping our top stories, 9 days remain until the new Fiji flag competition closes. Prime Minister Vodafone Bainimarama calls Samoan PM a lapdog of Australia and New Zealand. And the buck stops with drivers when it comes to road fatalities, says police. Our question this week in our poll segment, would stiffer penalties for traffic offences be a deterrent for road accidents? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. That's the news for tonight. Join the team again tomorrow evening. Bye for now.
मेरा चांद मुझे आया है नजर, ऐ रात जरा थम थम के गुजर। छाया है नशा मेरे आंखों पर, ऐ रात जरा थम थम के गुजर। रह जाए ना प्यासा मेरा प्यार, मेरे बाहों में भर दे मेरा यार, ऐ रात जरा थम थम के गुजर, ऐ रात जरा थम थम के गुजर। है दोस्तों, मैं हूं जितेन शांडिल। आप रात के बाद हमारे साथ अब रफ्तार प्रोग्राम में 3 से लेकर रात 7 के बीच शामिल हो सकते हैं। मिर्ची FM, इट्स हॉट।